Welcome to another session of microwave engineering. In today's session, we are going to discuss microwave tubes. Namely, the first tube in our lecture will be klystron. Before we start with the klystron, we need to understand there are two sets of tubes present in microwave. The first set of tube is called as a O tube. A O tube. Function of O tube says that your electric field and the electron flow will be both in the same direction, meaning both will not be perpendicular to each other, because in contradiction to this is an M type of tube. The function of M tube is that electric field and magnetic field are both perpendicular to the flow of electrons. So over here in O type of tube, your electric field and the electron flow will be parallel to each other. And according to the classification, you can see that it has been divided into two types. First one is called as the cavity type, the resonant cavity. If you remember, in my earlier slides, I have explained about the resonant cavities, where we will be using reentrant cavities. So the functions using the reentrant cavities are klystrons, reflex klystrons, tystrons, but tystrons we do not have, and the same similar type of properties, but not using the reentrant, using slow wave structures are forward wave, backward wave. That is why we have backward wave amplifier, backward wave oscillator. In forward wave, we have helix TWT and couple cavity TWT. In this, majority of the topics are there in my next following slides, which are going to come. Now let us concentrate on klystron. Klystron is considered to can be used as an amplifier as well as an oscillator. We will be studying two cavity klystron in very detail. The efficiency of that klystron is considered to be 40%. The power output is, average power is up to 500 kilowatt, and the pulse power is about approximately 30 megawatt at 10 gigahertz. The power gain about this klystron is about 30 dB. Now let us understand the two cavity klystron in detail. Please note, when we are going to discuss the two cavity klystron, we need to understand the construction of it. The first cavity which you see over here is called as the input cavity. It is also called as a buncher cavity. The second cavity which you see over here is called as a output cavity or the catcher cavity. These two cavities are exactly similar. To start with the derivation, we assume that space charge effect is negligible. What do you mean by space charge effect? Is that we have a cathode over here from which continuously electrons will be emitted out, which will be passing and collected at the collector end. While the electrons are passing through these reentrant cavities, chances are there that negative charges can repel each other and start moving away from each other, leading to some oscillations at plasma frequency. Those conditions do not exist here. That is one assumption. The signal to be amplified, the signal which you will be using for amplification can be maybe V1 sine omega t. That is going to be obviously not very high. That is going to be maybe very less than the accelerating voltage. Now we are taking the RF input at this side. So this is the input cavity and the output will be taken out from here. I hope you can see it. What is this time limit T0, T1, T2, T3? Please note these two the buncher cavity and the catcher cavity, that is the input and output cavity, are kept at the distance L from each other. T0 is the time at which the electron enters the buncher cavity. T1 is the time at which the electron moves out of the buncher cavity. T2 is the time at which electron enters the catcher cavity. T3 is the time at which the electron comes out of the catcher cavity. There are three processes that takes place in klystron. They are, first one, velocity modulation, 2, bunching, 3, current modulation. I repeat, there are three processes taking place in two cavity klystron. First one, velocity modulation, that takes place within the cavity gap. We are talking over here. It is called as cavity gap. It is always given as D. It is always given as small d. Small d. This is cavity gap. So velocity modulation takes place in, I'm just marking it. I'll just mark it with a highlighter so that you recollect it every time. It is always within the cavity gap. Velocity modulation. Bunching takes place just before the catcher cavity is kept. Bunching takes place just before the catcher cavity. The location at which the bunching takes place is always determined as distance L. So we need to calculate the distance at L at which bunching takes place. Current modulation, I repeat, current modulation takes place inside the your catcher cavity. Current modulation takes place inside the catcher cavity. With this, we will start with the first process, velocity modulation. As we discussed in earlier slide, velocity modulation takes place within the cavity gap D. To start with the velocity modulation, there are some basics which you need to know. We all know that kinetic energy becomes equivalent to potential energy. That is, kinetic energy is given by half mv square and potential energy is given as small e into v. Please note this v, which is written in cursive, is velocity. This v, which is written in capital letter, is also called is potential, always in mobile communication. Anything written with small v is velocity. Anything written with capital V will be always potential. From this equation, you get the electron velocity as, from this equation, small v square is equal to 2ev by m. That is what is written. So you get this velocity as not is written over here. That means this is dc. dc electron velocity. dc electron velocity, you should remember, is square root of 2e by m. E by m formula, you all know it. When you substitute the value, you get the final value as 0.593 into 10 to the power 6 square root of capital V naught meter per second. You need to by heart these formulas for problems. The signal which you are going to amplify will be Vs. An AC signal is Vs is equal to V1 sine omega t. What is tau? Tau is transit time. Transit time means time taken for the electrons to move within the cavity gap. I hope you remember this klystron. I'm talking about this cavity gap. This cavity gap. So this cavity gap is small d, and that time tau is, what is time? Distance upon velocity. So distance is d and velocity is the dc electron velocity. What is the dc electron velocity? It is nothing but 0.593 into 10 to the power 6 into square root of capital V naught. What is capital V naught? Capital V naught is nothing but cathode velocity, cathode voltage. We call it also as DC accelerating voltage. This is DC voltage. Okay, nothing but the voltage at the cathode. Alright, now we know the value that kinetic energy and energy is equal to potential energy. So we have got the value as half mv square is equal to e v naught. So v square is equal to square root of 2e by m v naught. This we have already seen in last slide. Now in this lecture, we are going to just, in this slide, we are going to just see the average value of the input voltage. Input voltage is Vs. How do I find the average value? In BW you have seen it is 1 upon T integration from minus T or 0 to T of Vs sin omega T. So we are going to find it in the same way. When you take integration of this, you get cos omega T minus cos omega T upon omega. Substitute the limits. I hope you understood why the limits is T0 to T1, because you're going to have your cavity something like this, and this cavity gap, how have they shown? How they have shown is this is T0, you remember, and of course T1 was the time at which the electron comes out of the cavity. So when you are solving this, cos omega t naught minus omega t1. Now tau is t1 minus t naught, that is your, what is it? Transit time. So when you're multiplying it by omega, it becomes omega t1 minus t naught, omega t1 minus t naught. So if I'm arranging the equations, can I write it as omega t1 is equal to theta g plus the omega t naught? We're just going to substitute wherever omega t1 is there. I mean to say here, I'm just going to substitute in place of omega t1 as theta g plus omega t naught. And this formula is nothing but cos A minus cos B. According to Trigono, it is 2 sine B minus A upon 2 into sine A plus B upon 2. Please substitute the equations, and on solving the equations in this way, these are all mathematical equations. I have solved it for you. It is not given clearly in SAM review. So I have solved it, and finally you get the equation as Vs is beta I sine omega t naught plus theta g by 2. Please note, This beta I is, which one I'm saying is this beta I is nothing but the beam coupling coefficient. You can see this, we are good, this value of average value of Vs will be substituted to find the velocity modulate equation in the next slide. Fine. So in that equation, from that equation, what will you get your V of T1? V of T1 can be written as square root of 2E by m. We will substitute the equation of V of, this is average velocity, which you have already derived last lecture. Sorry, in last slide, you have already seen this is the average velocity that has been substituted. From where did you get this? V of T1 is the velocity. You remember kinetic energy equal to potential energy, half mv square is equal to E into capital V naught. From there you have substituted this equation and you got the total voltage as DC accelerating voltage, that is cathode voltage, plus the average value of the voltage whose amplification you are trying to find. On solving this, we have taken the V naught also outside. So it becomes 1 plus beta I V1 by V naught sine omega T naught plus theta G by 2. What is this factor? You have just now solved at the starting itself that this is DC electron velocity. So finally, your electron, your velocity modulation takes place as, can you all tell me what it is? It is nothing but DC electron velocity, bracket open, 1 plus beta I V1 by 2 beta V naught sine omega T naught plus theta G by 2. Please note, this is an angle. This can take alternatively plus sign or it can also take minus sign. Now this is how we do the derivation. What exactly do we mean by this is that you have an RF wave, that is you have an AC voltage like this, something like this. So you have a positive half cycle, you have a negative half cycle, you have the zero section. So we are trying to tell you that whenever your electron beam, you had the electron beam passing like this, right? You have the electron beam going like this, something like this. This electron beam is interacting with this AC voltage, RF wave. So whenever it is positive half cycle, your velocity is accelerated. That is V max, because your velocity is along the positive half cycle. It is accelerated. That time you will take this equation. Whenever your electron is moving through the negative half cycle, your velocity is retarded. That is this equation. And whenever electron is passing through the zero cross section, nothing happens to your velocity. It will be just V naught. Am I clear? This is the physical meaning of velocity modulation. This takes place within the cavity gap of Buncher cavity. Thank you.